Hey everyone, welcome to Average Joe Preparedness. My name is Rick, and I'm an Average Joe. Now I don't know where you are, but where I am, the weather is changing. So we're looking at winter is coming, both figuratively and literally. So what I'm doing is I'm going over the stuff that's in my vehicle, and that would be my vehicle bag, my get home bag, and there's a few other things that I keep in my vehicle I can show you. And what I'm doing is making sure it's prepped for winter and going through and checking batteries and making sure the lights work and etc. And making sure things aren't expired. Yes? These things you should do once in a while to make sure everything that you have, that you rely on, that you depend on, that you care about is going to be there for you and work when you need it. Yes? Yes. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. What this is this is a preparedness channel, not a prepper channel. This is a preparedness channel for average people. So, and we start off with FEMA recommendations or .gov recommendations or Red Cross recommendations. We start with that. And then we work, move over to camping. I know you guys that have been here for a while, this is really familiar to you. But we move to camping equipment. And the reason being is because that stuff can be used if there's a bigger contingency. Yes? Yes. So today we're going over my bags. We've gone over the bags and the lovely lady in my life, her vehicle, what's kept there. And this is going to be really close to what she has. And then there's a few other things. And again, the reason I'm going over it is it's winter, make sure everything works. Yay, yay, yay. Yes? Yes. Now let me be perfectly clear, especially for the new people. I go over stuff like this not to tell you what to do, not to tell you, well, you should have this and you need to do that. No, 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 no. Now we've run checklists like the .gov and the Red Cross checklist of things you should have in your vehicle, things you should have in a get home bag, things you should have in an emergency bag, but it's not all inclusive and it's not absolute. And it is silly for me to try to tell you what to do. I don't know where you are. I don't know what the weather's like. I don't know anything about you. We go over this is to spark your ideas, for you to think, for you to go, hey, yeah, I don't think I need that, or hey, man, maybe I need that. That's what it's for. And to show you that an average person, because I am an average person, that an average person over time can do these things. Yes? Yes. So as you can probably tell, I'm out in my garage and I don't have heating. It is cold here. There's like a cold snap and it's supposed to get a little warm and then we're supposed to get snow. It's supposed to get worse, but whatever. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna break this stuff out. I'm gonna show you guys what I have. I have some stuff off camera that I also have in my vehicle. And again, it's just for you guys to think about it, for you to say, hey, yes, no, maybe. And I've got the checklist here. Like I said, I start with like .govs or safety checklists that you can get anywhere off the internet. They're a starting point. And then you build off of where you are, what you do, and your experiences. Because you're going to find no matter what you have as you go through life, you're going to be like, I wish I had more of these. I didn't really need this, and I wish I had that. Yes? Learning, growing, moving, being prepared. That's what this is about. Yes? Okay, so real quick, I don't know if this is obvious, we'll go over it again. I'm just going to take this stuff and move it out of the way. This is a wool blanket, like government issue. 80% wool. These things are not that expensive, and you have to wash them right or they stink. There's instructions on the internet, or I can go over it one day if you want me to. Yes, yes, very warm. And unlike cotton kills, wool doesn't. So when it gets wet, you can still stay warm with it. Yes? Put this out of the way, we're going to go over it. This is where I keep my tools or the stuff I'm going to have to grab really fast if there's something on the road, like a flat tire, if somebody else breaks down. Usually I stop for other people more than people have to stop for me. And then this is the bag of extra stuff, again, in the list. So I'm going to open these things up. You guys don't have to watch me do this, and I can show you what's in there. Yes, and what I've been checking. Okay? Yay. All right, hopefully this takes just a minute. There's a story behind that, but we'll get to that some other time. And I'm probably going to turn my back on the camera even though I'm not supposed to. That is the way. So, bag. I picked this up a long time ago. I don't get sponsored by a Craftsman. And these are the things I get for like road maintenance or again, things that have to happen really fast or I can just grab it. I don't have to go digging. Does that make sense? I hope so. So, basic toolkit. I've showed you this before. The lovely lady in my life. I put one in her vehicle. This is a multi-tool and a pocket knife. It came together pretty cool. No sponsorship. Picked these up years ago. tire gauge, jumper cables, you guys see that? Fix it flat, yes. And usually they say flares or just one of those little triangles to let people know you're there. Pair of gloves, mechanic gloves. I don't know if you guys have, lots of people, mechanics, they get these. They're not that expensive, they last a long time. And you want to have gloves when you're working, trust me. And then finally, little headlight, headlamp, and a flashlight. Let me talk about these. Now, all of the battery operated stuff, watch this. It's not going to work. You know why? This ain't going to work. You know why? Because I put the batteries in backwards. And that's to keep them from corroding and from burning up if this gets pushed while it's in the thing. So I take this off, I flip them around, I make sure they're good, I turn them back around, I put them back in there. So I got a handful of these once in a deal. These things are actually pretty cool. They've lasted. I've had these for like 2 years. I've got a bunch of them lying around. And then this, somebody's going to say, what the hell is this cheap little thing? I'm going to show you something. I got these one time in my volunteer work, and you can get them for like $1. $1. Yes, at Walmart. I picked up a whole bunch. I've got like a dozen left, I think. And you would be surprised. They run off of watch batteries, 2 of them. And again, I can't show you because I got the batteries flipped around. But these things are bright and last forever for $1 at Walmart. Yes, not endorsing it, but I'm just letting you know. So, this is really quick. I don't know if you guys could see it. If somebody has like a flat tire or something along the road, I got flashlights, like entire stuff, jumper cables, little toolkits, safety. Yes? You guys see it? That's what's in that bag. Now, I'd like to think what you guys saw in that bag is not like anything crazy. You guys are like, oh yeah, okay, cool beans. I can see why you have that stuff. It's basic. It's simple. There's some tools. There's a little reflective triangle for safety. There's a tire gauge, a little tire inflation foamy stuff, you know, headlight, headlamp, flashlight, no big deal. You see what I'm saying? This is not out of control. And now I'm hoping somebody's like, well, yeah, I'd have a bigger toolkit, or I'd have this, and that's great. That's the reason I make these videos. Think about what you need. So far, this has all worked for me. Yes? In this section of stuff, again, I'm about to bust out that other bag, and we're going to see stuff I've added and subtracted and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, just want to go over that. What would you put in this? That's what you need to think about. Not what I would put in it, not even what these checklists, I'm referring off camera, would say you should put in it, but what would you put in it? Yes? Yes. Now in this bag I put things that I'm probably not going to need as often, if that makes sense, in my experience of traveling on the road. So I'm going to open this up. I stole this bag from some equipment I bought. I get no endorsement, but a bunch of stuff came in this, and it's actually sitting on the shelf, and this bag's pretty cool, so that's why I use it. But once again, it's not about what I put in my bag, what I have in my car for particular times of the year. What it has to do with is getting you to think. You think, you, okay? Start with a checklist. Maybe watch some videos like this where you're like, okay, you can actually see it, get ideas, and then you need to do it. That is preparedness for the average person. Yes? Yes. Okay, so let's see what I had in the bag. Yes, again, I may turn my back to the camera. Sorry. Starting over here, I have a fire extinguisher. Now you see it's a little fire extinguisher, and we went over before why the tape's there is to make sure to hold the pins in. Now I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to disappear for a second. I also have this in my car. Yes, larger. Now in my back, I have like these little drawers, whatever compartments. That's where this sits. This is, I can probably get this easier. If I've got stuff in the back, it's hard to get into the compartments, but I still have this. Yes? Safety first. So, fire extinguisher. Some duct tape. You can never go without. Duct tape is never a bad idea, and I've had to use it. An extra umbrella. I know you see that one right there. I don't know if you see it. That's not what it's for. Extra umbrella. One of those little safety things, little safety hammers. And by the way, it's got the seatbelt cutter on it. This thing is really pointy. You see that? And it breaks the windows. You guys know what I'm talking about? I hope so. Okay, toe strap. These are little baby wipes. If you guys don't know, I can't tell you. You're going to have to run into it. Some safety blankets, extra rags. And you notice I have red ones. There's a reason for that. These can be multi-purpose. If you get stuck out there, now I'm talking something really bad, like I think it was last year when all those people got stuck on the freeway in that big blizzard, is you can take these, and if you have duct tape, you could put them on your antenna of your car to let somebody know, or you can just pinch them in your door. Open up your door, hang it there, and close it, so that way people, to attract attention. Speaking of which, a big poncho, red, again, to attract attention. And this thing's huge too, by the way, so it's multi-purpose. Some snacks and some food. You guys remember those SOS bars? Yes. But just some snacks. A first aid kit that's been modified. You guys got to know it's been modified. Yes? What do you mean by modified, Rick? Well, let me tell you. If you've been around for a while, you understand that a basic first, and I get nothing from Johnson & Johnson, but a basic first aid kit's good, but you need to add stuff to it. Like this has N95 masks in it, and it's got a bunch. The biggest thing is a bunch of gloves, because they usually give you one, and it's really thin. It's like 1 or 2 mil. It's stupid. I've got 7 mils in here, and I think I got 2 or 3 pairs. And then I have bigger gauzes, because when you're out on the road and people get into, let's say, car accidents, that's what I've run into a bunch of times, is those little Band-Aids ain't going to work. I've got 4x4s, I think is the largest one that I have in here. You understand what I'm saying? Modify it to what you've run into. And then I have a big Atlas, road Atlas. If you guys remember, I told you about this because of what happened to a lovely lady in my life. That's right. Military issue. I've added it to hers and mine. It's one of those collapsible shovels. Yes? You guys know what I'm talking about? I do. And again, this is a really cool point. Is what experience. Because a lovely lady in my life, she got stuck in the snow. She didn't have a shovel. So now both of us have a shovel. See how it evolves? You learn. Also, they call for these. And there was one time I really wish I had one. We had to take out a windshield on this vehicle. The truck it got hit by a semi. It doesn't matter. And what I'd actually used was an asp that I'd carried in my car, which will take out a windshield. But if I had one of these, it may have been easier, or more than one person at a time could have tried to get the windshield out. The point being is you adapt to what your experiences are in your driving and what you come into. Okay, now that's real quick. Let's go back off camera again. And we disappear. Oh! Remember the blanket? Yes. Now I throw this in the back of my car. And I also want to show you something else going off camera one more time. Is I always have at least one of these in my car. Moving blankets. Yes. They're big, they're thick, they're disposable. You can throw them away. And you can get them for like $5 or $6. I used to get them for like $4 at like Harbor Freight. You know what I'm saying? Not that expensive, but they can be warm. And you throw them down on the ground when you got to get up under somebody's car, especially in the snow. Yes? Yes. Okay, maybe a couple more things from off camera. It's winter time. Ice scraper. Yeah. I also have another first aid kit that I have in my car. This one I can just grab. It's not in a bag or nothing. It's real simple, and this is just for like boo-boos. This is like a boo-boo kit. Yes? And I'm going to stop going off camera. Rick, you should edit your videos better. Yeah, I haven't figured that out yet, that I should do that, or I just don't. So anyways, give me a second. I'm going to take some off-camera stuff. I'm going to throw it up here too. Yes? Yes. Okay, this way I don't have to keep going off camera. So let me show you this stuff. Okay, the bag you've seen. I've shown you this. Ice scraper, snow thing. Other stuff. I took everything out of my car to get it organized, so that's why I'm showing you this stuff. A Chilton's manual, or if you have the owner's manual of your vehicle. You know, chocks. You see that? Yes. Chains. It's winter time. I showed you the fire extinguisher. I showed you the little other grab boo-boo first aid kit. Now this, I don't get anything from it. It's called a frost guard. This one is. You take it out, you throw it over the top of your windshield, and it folds in out, and you can close your doors on it. And it keeps your windshield from freezing. You know, when you go out in the morning, you got to sit there with the ice scraper. Now, you throw this on, you peel that right off. Even if it's got snow, you just, trust me, if you guys don't have one of these, I don't know. I mean, if you live someplace that's got a lot of snow, maybe you've got one. If not, something to think about. Yes, and I get nothing from these guys. No sponsors. No sponsors. And I think I got like 2 more things. Remember, it's winter. So, throwing these in the bag now. And these are super warmers. Those little hot hand ones, these things are big. Just in case. And, Rick, an Altoids can? Yeah, we are going old school for you people that have been around for a while. They used to do these little Altoids safety kits and stuff. No. What's in here, and this will be taped closed. Can you guys see that? It is 1 lighter and 2 little tea lamps. And the reason it's in here, so you can use this worst case scenario if you need to light a fire to keep yourself warm. And you put it on the metal, so that way it's, you got to control, and you close it and it goes out. You guys see what I'm saying? Take that stuff out, put one there. This is going to be taped closed and put in there. and God forbid, hopefully I never have to use it. Yes? What I usually do is I just turn my car on. Yes, I've actually not been stuck. I've slept in my car. I do car camping. And when I wake up, it's really cold. I start my car, leave the heater on, and wait for it to heat up, turn my car off. Yes? That's why you always have gasoline. But anyways, in case of emergency, and again, it's not about what I have. It's about what you think you need. Yes? Yes. Now, what I was going to do was I was going to go over my get-home bag. I'd already gone over the one for the lovely lady in my life. I'll show you how I modify it for wintertime. But I'm going to probably save that for another video, even if I do it. I'm pretty sure I will. But what I am going to talk to you about, and that's the reason why I'm not doing that, is what I've seen in the feeds lately. Because I've mentioned it before, I check out the preparedness, prepper, oh my God, end of the world feeds. And it's getting pretty bad. So keep a few things in mind when you're watching videos, up into including mine. And that is, take everything with a grain of salt. Because it doesn't necessarily... First, when it comes to, let's say, it doesn't necessarily apply to you. So let's start with the FEMA stuff, which is what I cover, the checklist. And I may go over that with this. I've gone over checklists before. I've let you guys know you can get them off the internet. Yes? So that's a good place to start, and that's what I recommend for you. But even with that, that doesn't necessarily, everything on the checklist doesn't necessarily apply to everyone. So be aware of your situation. So when it comes to the FEMA stuff, then the next thing we cover, I'd like to cover once in a while, is camping equipment. And I've gone over how that can be used for bigger contingencies. Once again, take it with a grain of salt. If you'd like to get those things, if you see how they could work for you, it's everyone's individual situation. So any of these videos, any information you get, please use critical thinking. I'm begging you, please do. And I'm building up to this, and right now it's the end of the world. You know, if you watch some of the videos every day, it's the end of the world, it's the end of the world, it's the end of the world. And for all I know, again, I've mentioned it before, the world could end tomorrow, but it's probability versus possibility. Yes, yes. Now let me be perfectly clear. I'm excited and I'm an advocate of things recommended by, we'll call it the government, you know, FEMA and the Red Cross and the such. Because I've seen a lot of situations, I've been in a lot of situations where that stuff would have helped me if I didn't have it, or it did help me because I did have it. And not just me, other people. And I'm also an advocate, and I get excited about camping stuff because I like doing the camping thing. I'm getting ready to do a trip here in 2 weeks. I may talk about it in another video, or I may not talk about it at all. But I'm getting ready for that, and that's one of the reasons why I'm going over this stuff. So, but if it doesn't apply to you, if it's not your thing, if you can't see how having camping things could help you in a contingency, you know, okay, that's your business. Just, again, it's about critical thinking. But when it comes to the doomsday stuff, guys, just in your mind, when you're watching it, it's fear porn, you just try to take it down a little bit. Yes, I'm concerned. That's all, just concerned. All right, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to end that here. So, updates real quick before I finish it off. For those of you, because I know there's lots of people out there that are just salivating and trying to find out what's the story with those potatoes, right? Right, just kidding. So anyways, we had frost come in and we did a hard freeze, and basically all the plants are dying. But guess which ones are holding on? That's right, these potatoes over here. Those red potatoes look like they're about toast, so I'm going to probably dig up those potatoes here in a little bit. The ones that are over here, we actually dug up one of the plants because I didn't clear the ground. It was hard clay, and it started growing out of the ground, if that makes sense. It was kind of sad. Screw it. Let's just go ahead and I used it, and I made a pot roast with the potatoes. It had a lot of potatoes. Those ones I didn't even try growing. I mean, I just threw them in the ground. So, yes, the potatoes, these over here are still going. Everything else is, I mean, it is dead. It froze. And these potatoes are like, no, we will live longer. I don't know what to do, guys. Yes? Yes. All right, I hope you don't mind. I just ended that on a little humor. Okay, winter is coming, figuratively, literally, and metaphorically. So be ready for it. Yes? Do what you can, people. All right, I hope this finds you well. I hope you are happy. I hope you are positive. And I hope you are prepared.